Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about so many things. We have, first off, that ongoing winter storm where we're seeing tons of ice coming down, tons of snowfall, and there's still a lot more to come. But also, we're going to talk about another upcoming major winter storm for very similar regions. Very interesting situation we find ourselves in. We're expecting tons more snowfall and tons more freezing rain from this other upcoming major winter storm, so there's a ton to go over today in this video. Now, before I get started with this video, though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Now, I would also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below, and then our very awesome channel membership next to the subscribe button. You can click that right now and check out those tiers. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, how major do you think this next upcoming winter storm will be? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at our warnings, watches, and advisories. Yesterday, we had the entirety of Texas and Oklahoma covered in winter storm warnings. I don't even think that's ever happened before. Very incredible situation. And then Arkansas is still fully engulfed with this winter storm warning. So we have multiple states that are almost fully covered by this. And you can see that's just a huge swath as we head up into the Ohio Valley and even in through the Northeast as well. Okay, so let's take a look at our current radar real quick, and as you can see, there's tons of snowfall going on still for eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, up through southwestern Arkansas and southeastern Oklahoma as well. Also some snow showers out ahead of all of this in Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee as well. That red is indicating that freezing rain coming down for portions in Texas and Louisiana. That is coming down pretty decently right now, so we're going to want to watch for that ice accumulation there. Again, that could be a very major situation, like I said yesterday, with some of those southern states seeing a lot of that freezing rain. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and take a look at the upcoming rest of this storm on our NAM 3KM model, and then we're going to take a look at that next major upcoming winter storm. So let's watch the rest of this storm play out, and as you can see, by about, well, 6 a.m. this morning, which is around the time I'm making this video, you can see that we do have that snowfall in, again, Texas, Arkansas. This one's saying there's a lot of sleet down there in Texas and Louisiana. That might be the case, but also that freezing rain as well. Let's take this towards about tonight, and this is going to be approximately, I would say, 8 p.m. tonight on Monday, February 15th. And as you can see, plenty of snowfall going on for the Ohio Valley, and then that freezing rain on the very eastern front of this storm. A lot of cold air is going to move in behind this one as well. I forgot to mention that. As we take a look at maybe about 11 a.m. there on Tuesday, February 16th, tomorrow from the time I'm making this video, you can see this one moves up into the northeast, bringing snow, sleet, freezing rain, and a lot of rain as well. All of those precipitation types for one small region. A very interesting situation. And then here we are taking a look at the European model at about 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So very shortly from the time I'm making this video, we will already be seeing the next major winter storm moving in to Oklahoma and Texas again. Round 2, we're taking a look at another major winter storm. So we're going to move on with this in just a moment and watch this one progress, where it brings more ice, more snow, and we're going to see this move up into more different regions as well. All right, so let's take a look at approximately, I would say, 4 a.m. there on Wednesday, February 17th. And as you can see, that moderate snowfall indicated by those darker blues showing up for Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas. All of these regions are seeing a pretty good amount of snowfall coming down by this point. Also freezing rain for central Texas as well. Again, the freezing rain is a lot worse than snow. So we're mostly watching for that freezing rain during this event, as this seems to be another storm that's going to be very favorable for freezing rain. Let's take this towards about 11 a.m. That morning, still Wednesday, February 17th, and as you can see, some heavier snowfall develops for northeastern Texas, so areas like Dallas and Fort Worth are included there in that heavier snowfall that's showing up. Also, southern Oklahoma and then western Arkansas are getting in on some of that as well, with some significant freezing rain coming down for east central Texas, I would call it, and then in through northern Louisiana. We're going to watch for that very closely, like I said. And then this eventually moves mostly into those Gulf states. As you can see, again, the freezing rain still over Louisiana, but now it's extending well into Mississippi, southern Arkansas as well. And then we see some snow to the north of there for northern Arkansas, and then regions throughout Tennessee as well. Let's take this towards about, I would say, 4 a.m. on Thursday, February 18th. And as you can see, this one has moved up mostly into the mid-Atlantic by this point. Still some freezing rain going on for areas like Mississippi up in through Tennessee, Kentucky, but now a lot of North Carolina and Virginia, they certainly don't need the freezing rain. They've just had a significant freezing rain event there, but there could be more on the way, according to many of these models. Notice all of that heavy rain also to the southeast. That is not going to help with the current situation. We've had 3 inches of rain so far where I'm at over the last few days, and there is plenty more on the way. So serious flooding situation for the southeast and portions of the mid-Atlantic, as there's just been so much rain lately. We do not need it at this point, but tons of freezing rain, tons of snow, and tons of rain coming down at this point. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards where this is actually going to become more of a major winter storm. We're going to see areas in the northeast begin to get involved as well. So this is by about 1 p.m. on Thursday, February 18th. And as you can see, those pinks indicating the freezing rain is showing up mostly where we just had a ton of freezing rain for Virginia. So this is not good news at all if this was to play out this way. We're only 90 hours away, so this is in the short range at this point. So it's very, very possible that this does play out this way. We do see heavy snowfall with some mixing issues going on for northern Virginia, areas in Maryland, southern Pennsylvania, and through New Jersey. But again, those mixing issues, you can see those pinks, the yellows kind of blotched around. That's indicating temperatures very close to switching over to sleet, freezing rain, or snow, all within one area. We would call that a sloppy situation for that region. That's what I would call it, at least. As you can see, by the time I reach about 1 a.m. on Friday, this does move up mostly into New England. We do see plenty of freezing rain for eastern Pennsylvania, most of Maryland there, still plenty of Virginia, and that extends all the way up through New Jersey, northern New Jersey, that is, New York City. We see areas in Connecticut, Rhode Island as well, but we see plenty of moderate to heavy snowfall going on for Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and up in through New England as well by this point. And then by the time we reach 1 p.m. the next day on Friday, February 19th, you can see this one is coming to an end as a nor'easter offshore of New England, bringing plenty of snowfall to those New England states, and it's fully moved out by about 1 a.m. on Saturday, February 20th. All right, now what we're going to do here is we are going to take a look at the GFS model very briefly. And as you can see, this one starts out very similar regions here at about maybe 4 a.m. on Wednesday. We move this up, and it looks like an even more major winter storm than what the European model was calling for here. We see a larger swath seeing that wintry precipitation. But overall, this is the same idea as what the European model had. We've been in a stuck pattern where we've seen these storms looking very, very similar to each other. It's a very tricky situation. Eventually, this does move up into the northeast, where this one has more ice and more sleet, less snow than the European model. And then this moves up again as a nor'easter, just like the European model showed by about 1 p.m. on Friday, February 19th. Now, I did want to show you one frame from our Canadian model as well. And as you can see, this one also has a significant amount of freezing rain coming down from North Carolina and Virginia, even more so than what the GFS and the European model had. So a very significant situation we find ourselves in here. Very, very interesting to say the least. I'm very concerned about this, obviously, as we will likely still have freezing rain left over from our previous storm, so this is just a very serious situation. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and quickly take a look at the total snowfall from just this storm according to our European model, GFS model, and our Canadian model. All right, now here we are taking a look at that European model first off. And as you can tell if you've been watching our previous videos over the last few days, this is not as much as that first snowstorm had by any means, but still a major snowstorm to say the least. We first off have an area of heavy snow for Arkansas and Texas being picked up there, 6 to 10 inches of snow, which is very significant for those states. And then even an area of 10 inches plus there for West Virginia, Northern Virginia, Southern Pennsylvania, and portions of Maryland as well. And then even 10 inches plus there for upstate New York, Northern Vermont, and Northern New Hampshire and Maine as well. But anywhere in the grays, you're expecting a dusting, if anything. In the lighter blues, 2 to 6 inches of snow. Within those purples, 6 to 10. Pinks, 10 inches plus. All right, let's take a look at that GFS model now. And as you can see, it actually has a more major snowstorm than the European model has. I think I mentioned that already, though. As you can see, it has a lot more for Oklahoma. That swath just continues with the 6 to 10 inches, even 10 inches plus, all the way from Arkansas up through Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and even up through into New England and upstate New York. Let's take a look at that Canadian model, and this is the most minor out of all of them, except we do have a very major band there for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and maybe even a little bit of Mississippi as well with 10 inches plus. That would certainly be a very major situation down there, to say the least. Anyway, stay tuned, guys, because I'm going to be updating this storm day after day until we see this storm take place. I might be going live over the next couple of days, by the way, to cover that winter storm as well, as I'm not too busy coming up. So I'm going to try to do some live streams for you guys. So be on the lookout for that as well. Anyway, for our confidence tab, I'm at about a 3 out of 6. Obviously, there is some room for improvement on the agreement from the model, so I'm just going to stay at a 3 for now. We will likely be moving up to a 4 and a 5 and a 6 over the coming days. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, where do you think we'll see the most snowfall from that first winter storm, the one that we did not talk very much about today, that's already ongoing? And Curtis said 16 inches in northwestern Maine. I think that that's a good area to bullseye. I think that's where we will see the bullseye actually, and 16 inches is a very good guess as well. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Sebastian Tao, John Benbenick, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Alan Balemo, Adam S., Larry Lepan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalesa, Michael Buell, Cap Bite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Falago, Gary's, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of our patron end screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.